The question I get asked the most on my channel is, what does OIFM mean? And I'm really glad I've got the opportunity right now, first and foremost, to just clear this up. My understanding of it, at least currently, is...
Oh, that sucks. Did we lose his feed? That sucks. Doesn't usually happen to us, folks. Sorry about that. But quickly, while we get his feedback, breaking news here within the past 48 hours. Guinness Book of World Records judge finds himself in trouble after inspecting the world's largest cucumber, a whopping 106.4 inches. Apparently, the ladder he was standing on gave way, causing him to fall into this hefty vegetable. Researchers are calling this the first literal case of being in a pickle. And it looks like we've got Graenolf's feedback, so we're going to move back to him for the rest of the video. Jess, what's up with the monitor? It's choppy. I'm not reading what's coming.
So I hope I made it clear as to what that word means. Now, that was the first. The second question I get asked the most is, what mods are you using for Skyrim? And today I thought I would show you. Jumping right into the Nexus mod manager, we're just going to go from the top to the very bottom and see what we encounter. So let's get into it. Starting off with number 1, we have the XP32 Maximum Skeleton Special Extended. Starting off on a high note, I honestly have not, I don't know what this mod does. It's one of those things where you're trying to download a different mod, but just before you do, Nexus mods is like, oh, I see you're trying to change the size of people's bodies. I'll let you do that, but you have to do something for me first. And you're like, oh god. And so you download this requisite file, he calls it, but you feel violated, and you're not sure if you did the right thing, and there he is, dangling his boobies in your face like, CBBE. I know you want to download CBBE. And obviously he's right, because yeah, you're a pervert, you're weird. So yeah, this is a prerequisite to all of that fun. Number 2, it looks like we have the, what is this? Armor of Intrigue for Special Edition. This was definitely just an impulse buy. I don't really wear it anymore, I forgot I had this. But it's like when you lose your favorite jacket, and then years later you find it, and you're like, damn, I used to have style, because it totally looks awesome. It's got this, steampunk vibe. There's belts wrapped all around it, holding in all these cool little details, like potions and scrolls and daggers and, little emblems. And it's all hanging nicely on this, sort of gatekeeper's cloak, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is definitely a good one. Number 3, we have the Crimson Ranger armor for Special Edition. I used to actually wear this a lot in my videos as my Khajiit. But yeah, it's just another cool set of armor. Definitely gives you that Renaissance vibe, but deadly. Deadly Renaissance man. With a horn on his waist. That's the best part, actually. I think the concept is that you can blow on this horn, and it calls your own personal squad of archers to come to your aid and fire arrows right over you as you're in battle. Oh, I like it. It's not actually an effect that you get, but it's a cool idea. I'm trying to fill your head with the cool ideas. Yeah, number 4, we've got the DCR King Crusader Mega Pack. Definitely my favorite armor set that I've ever downloaded. I think it was the first as well. So it wasn't though. I don't know why I wrote that. I'm looking at this sentence. I think it was the first as well. It's not. I definitely clear that up later on. But it was one of the first, so that's another reason I do love it so much. But just look how cool this thing is. It's so detailed. Kind of reminds me of the ring wraiths from Lord of the Rings, but it's got that battle mage combo that is always such a cool concept. It's like taking light mage robes and finding a way to armor it, with heavy plate. I love that. But to make this the best, it also comes with a matching dagger and sword, which has its own silly effect that knocks people the hell away if you're below a certain amount of health. And if you download this within the next 48 hours, you'll also receive a bonus spell, Locust Swarm, which is going to cover your enemies in these nasty critters. I guarantee it. Number 5, we have Immersive Armors. This is one of the staple mods that everyone should have, and when you see something has over 10 million total downloads, yeah, it's going to be good. It basically just adds a bunch of new armor to the game that you've never seen before. And it's cool because you're not hogging all of it. Like, you'll go and fight some enemies and they'll be in this stuff as well. So it affects the armor of everyone. That makes it feel a lot more impactful. And there's a lot of really good ones in here, but my favorites are probably, I love the Witchplate armor and the Falcriath armor. Yeah, those two are sweet. Number 6, we have the Reve armor for special edition. Again, it's just another example of really good battle mage armor that it looks sweet. You can tell it's got this hood and robe foundation, but then they put all of this sexy plate armor on top of it. You know, you kind of look like a Sith Lord from Star Wars. I think that's actually why I initially downloaded it. But this Sith Lord, he accidentally flew through a black hole in space. He got thrown back in time, and now he's taken inspiration from the Dark Ages. And if you're trying to be intimidating, this really is the way to go, because there's something really sinister about covering up your character's face. It adds mystery, and if people can't read your face, they have no idea what you're going to do next. So I really like this armor a lot. Number 7, we have the Book of UUNP, Volumes 1, 2, and 3. This probably offers the biggest amount of armor variation in like one singular mod. Maybe Immersive Armors that we already talked about. Maybe. Between those two, at least from what I've seen, but regardless, this one is huge, and it's almost 500 megabytes to download. Very, very big, but it's totally worth it, because not only does it add new, unique armor, but it also mixes up the old stuff. So if you had an NPC, right, and they're wearing iron armor, for example, well, whether they were male or female, you basically already knew what they were going to look like, relatively speaking, but with this, it adds different sets to the same armor. So just iron alone could have a bunch of different variations, even some skimpy ones thrown in there, which I hate, because I'll be recording inside of a tavern, and halfway through there's this chick in the background and nothing but an iron thong, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to go over and disable her with the console command so that she doesn't show up, and don't look like a pervert in my videos, and I'm like, genuinely, I wasn't looking at it. Look, there are kids watching these videos, you know. I'm a role model to them. No, I am. Number 8, we have, oh my god, Calientes Beautiful Bodies Enhancer, CBB. Now, I know you guys aren't going to believe me when I say this, but I genuinely didn't even know this was a thing. Like, I remember I was watching someone else's video, and I was like, what's up with the supermodels? And I think whether you're a guy or a girl, there's a natural instinct to be attracted to these curvaceous physiques. So I thought, I have to download this then as well to increase my audience engagement per video. And I haven't really tracked it, but of course I assume it's working, so yeah, there is my safe and professional answer to that. 10 out of 10 recommendation if you're into some big titties. Number 9, Total Character Makeover. Again, this is one of the staples. Potatoes! Get rid of them! Potato faces of vanilla Skyrim. It's not that they were super ugly. It's just that there wasn't enough detail, so you didn't really know what you were looking at. Right, in the human brain, if it's quickly passing over, like, your boots, well, if they're low in quality, it'll be able to just fill in the blank with your imagination. That's fine, like when we read books. But the face is different. That is the center of focus for every new person that we meet. And so it's important. Vanilla faces were kind of like when you have an ocular migraine and you lose half your vision and you're looking at someone's face, but you're confused because you're staring right at them, but you can't make out what's wrong because 50% of the detail is all fuzzy and discolored, so you feel weird about it, so you go to the ER because you've never experienced this before and you're kind of worried and scared because you think that you might have a brain tumor, but you don't, but the nurse doesn't know that, so she's asking you questions, then you vomit on her by accident. This is a true story. Sophomore year of high school. Anyway, this mod adds textures to all the faces so you can actually see what you're looking at. Number 10, we have JK's Riverwood. Moving on to the city changes now. I really like this one because it doesn't change the core shape of the village. You're not like, what the heck? Where are the people? But it just adds on to what we already know and love. So there's a lot more storage areas and supplies, behind people's houses. It adds docks to the water, which makes it easier for you to go in between the river, because usually that was kind of a weird divide. So that helps. And it has sensible details like adding training dummies over near Feindal, which you would very likely be using with the students when training archery, so it makes sense. The same thing with JK's Whiterun. It tries to fill in the white space, so to speak, of Whiterun. So it adds a bunch of archways and gates and gardens where it felt like more detail could have been used. I think my favorite part, actually, in particular, is the Skyforge. It adds a greater collection of weapons and armor that obviously Yorland has done a wonderful job on. And then in the back of that place, there's a new system of stairs that leads to the back of Jorvaskr. But this has never been here before, so it feels like your own secret path that only you know about. And that's a role player's haven, right? It's a spot in a safe place like a populated city, but it's still removed from other people, right? So you can be alone with your thoughts. Definitely some meta thoughts right there on introvertedness. 12, similar things are happening with the next one, Morthal Overhaul. It literally makes the entire city more detailed and interesting, but where it really shines is on the water. It adds a new system of docks, as well as what's on them, so that it's a lot more interesting to spend time on. And that really is important for a town that's right on the water. But before, you just didn't have that, like, ease of access, let's say, and now you do. So it really is tempting to just sit in one of the little boats and just pretend your legs are cooling in the water, dipping in those. Maybe you've got a rod in your hands and you're fishing right there in the bay. This is a warm alteration to a place that's otherwise sort of unwelcoming. 13, it looks like we have violence. Yeah, I just realized I still have a chunk of mods to cover, and I don't want this to be like 25 minutes long, so I'm only going to expand on the ones that I actually have something meaningful to say. So violence, sorry man, for example, I don't have a lot to say about you, but this one, it just adds a bunch of new kill moves so that you're not seeing the same ones over and over again. And I know you can customize which moves that you can do with like certain weapons, but I just haven't played around with it yet. But yeah, this is good. 14, we have Beasts of Tamriel. Oh, this is easily one of my favorite mods. It adds over 100 new creatures. 100. So ogres, new dragons, a bunch of were creatures like were lions and were vultures and were crocodiles and were sharks. There are things called snow whales, and these things are flying whales that you can find over the 1,000 steps, and they have happily surprised me in the past when I didn't know what the heck was going on. Yeah, this is definitely the go-to if you're sick of seeing the same old bears and Draugr. 15, Archuria Pendragon Follower. This is what I was talking about. This is the first mod that I ever downloaded. Fun fact, apparently she's based after a character from an anime series called Fate, but I did not know that. I just liked her name, because I remember having this one conversation with my dad when I was just a kid about what he would change his last name to if he ever felt like he should. And as a joke, he said, Pendragon. Yeah, I like that. And it's sweet, I like it too. Like, dude, change my first name to Alex, I would literally be Alexander Pendragon. Oh, pure power to the senses. But you have to be careful what you do in life, because it doesn't fit if you're like, hello, my name is Alexander Pendragon, and I need you to show me where this water damage is occurring. 16, oh my god, I'm only halfway through. Crap, I'm gonna blow through some of these boring ones. Alternate start. So amazing, lets you skip through the long wagon ride and attack on Helgen, which is the introduction to this game whenever you start a new character. Holidays is actually a really cool one because you randomly walk into town and streamers are up and you can see fireworks in the background. Everybody's celebrating life. These people are always being threatened with death, so some levity, I think, is perfectly fitting for them. Skybirds is really pretty. It adds colorful birds to the world that respond dynamically to their environment, right? So they perch wherever they like, and they build nests up in the trees, and they chirp and they sing, and you can kill them without people freaking out at you, you know, if you're feeling repressed. Apache Divine Elegant Store. I don't know why I've got two of these, but it's basically just a store right under Old Hralden that sells bougie gothic attire. Like, if you're trying to get fancy, screw the Two Sisters in Solitude. Dude, come here, the selection's better. Strong masquerade vibe for you and your friends. Ooh, you high elitists who probably get into some dark fetishes when the lights are off, you know what I'm saying? Immersive Armors CBBE conversion. This is self-explanatory. You don't want your supermodels literally morphing their bodies back into vanilla version when they're wearing your fun new immersive armors. So you need this. It's a requisite. Despair, the Pale Steed. Literally only used this guy one time so I could grab a sweet thumbnail for one of my videos, but no, he's cool. Undead Horse with glowing green mist. I mean, I love Arvak like the next guy, but Despair gives him a run for his money. Beyond Skyrim, Bruma. Dude, this is massive. Imagine playing Oblivion with Skyrim's mechanics and graphics. It's exactly like that. And even though the land may be familiar to you, well, the quests, they're not, because they are all new. It's kind of like what those same people are now up to and what they're struggling with after all of these years after that game. Right, so it's all new. A lot of creativity involved in this one, so really, really cool. But I've only played like the first hour of it, so I can't get into further details just yet. Amazing follower tweaks. This is just so you can customize your followers, really. Instead of only being able to be like, hey, go wait over there. Okay, now come over here. Good. With this you can change how they fight during combat, what weapons they use, what they wear depending on what you put in their inventory, and also they become less retarded. So if there's a trap on the ground, and it's obvious that it's a trap on the ground, Lydia, you can see it. Well, they try not to walk directly over it, so happy days. Populated cities, towns, villages. This adds more people to your cities, towns, and villages. Populated lands, roads, paths. This adds more people to your lands, roads, and paths. And avenues. Okay, let's not forget about our avenues, because that's important. Look! The end is in sight. Body slide and outfit studio. I haven't used this before, but if you want, you can make the titties even bigger. Vivid weather's definitive edition. Fog, clouds, rain, sunsets, snow, stars, more weather. Magic of sabers, just lightsabers, and Skyrim SE expanded weaponry. Because more weapons! I need more weapons. I'm never happy with the weapons that I have. I need more. But other than that, yeah, there you have it. All mods that I use for Skyrim. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And down below, please tell me, what are your favorite mods? Do you think there's something I should try out? Alright, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has answered some of your burning questions about the mods that I use. And, maybe in like 6 months I'll make another one of these to show you the new ones that I've been using and whatnot. So we'll see, that could be fun. I always like part 2s to things. At the time of recording this, it's almost Halloween, so I hope you have a good Halloween with your loved ones, and that it's scary, and that you enjoy yourself. Back to Gary with the news!
Yes. Are we going?